And welcome to the next round of the GT Sports Club from here in Algarve. It's going to be a very entertaining race. It's the third round of this brand new for 2015 championship, and we're going to have 12 cars on the grid fighting it out over the course of the day. My name is Jack Nichols, and you can see the cars are lining up on the grid already, and on pole position on the left-hand side in the AF Corsa Ferrari is the 52 car of Mario Cordoni. He is going to be the man who will be starting on pole position. This is the qualifying race for the main race that is coming up this afternoon. You can see the grid already getting busy. They'll be starting the race in about 10 minutes time. As far as the championship is concerned, after 2 rounds so far, Cedric Mézard is the man at the top of the championship. He hasn't had a win yet so far this season, but he's finished second in the last 3 races. The main race in Barcelona, and then both races at Paul Ricard, he finished in second position to Stefano Pizzucci. But Pizzucci not here this weekend, and he won't be competing, and as a result, it's really between Mézard and Massimiliano Bianchi at the top of the championship. Mézard has 43 points, Massimiliano Bianchi has 41 points, so just 2 points in it. Bianchi won the main race in Barcelona as part of the Spirit de Montjuic race weekend, and he also picked up a 4th place finish in Paul Ricard last time out, so that's why Bianchi is second in the standings. There you can see the AF Corsa car on the left-hand side, the 52 machine of Mario Cordoni, and this is a good opportunity for Cordoni, who had a very good qualifying race in Barcelona, where he managed to finish second, but since then he hasn't been back on the podium, and starting from pole, he'll be hoping that can change here. Alongside him on the front row, though, is our championship leader there, Cedric Mézard. He's the man to watch. He's in the Valour Corsa Ferrari 458, and he will be starting in second place on the grid for this 25-minute sprint race. Further back on the second row, there in third place in that black Kessel Ferrari, that is Massimiliano Bianchi. He's going to be starting in third on the grid, the man who is second in the championship. So it's really between those two, Bianchi and Mézard, that we want to be watching, because after this there's only one more round to go, which is at Misano. There on the right you see the 95 NSC Lamborghini of Thierry Verstraete. On the back next row, we're now into 7th and 8th positions. On the left is Van Glabecke, and on the right-hand side we've got Sonnen. Then on the left-hand side is the WRT Audi, and that is being driven by Jean-Michel Bart. Alongside him is the HTP Mercedes of De Pundert. Then you've got Natalia Fredina in the Sports and New Mercedes on the left-hand side, and then at the back of the grid here we've got the 54 AF Corsa entry of Michael Luzic, the American driver, starting at the back of the grid. That's the view he's going to have heading down towards the first corner, but it's the blue and white AF Corsa machine that is going to be starting on pole position. A beautiful day here in the Algarve, and really this is the kind of perfect GT Sports Club kind of weather, isn't it? You fly to Portugal for a day, do a race, and then go home. Well, do 2 races, I should say in actual fact, and then you head back. So there's a look at the grid again as it gets cleared. The qualifying race gives you a maximum of 8 championship points, and then the main race this afternoon will give you 25 points for victory. So there's an awful lot to play for, with only 2 points separating the top 2. As for the rest of the field, Martin Lanting is the next man in the championship, the Monegasque driver, but he has 21 points, so he's 20 points off the battle at the top of the championship standings. So that's really why it looks as though it'll be Mézard versus Bianchi for the remainder of this season. So the grid is cleared, the engine notes begin to rise. There's the 52 car of Mario Cordoni starting there on pole position. And it's the red and white Valour Corsa Ferrari of Mézard, who will start alongside him on the front row. Good to see the Sports and New team here, actually. The Portuguese squad running that Mercedes SLS for Natalia Fredina, so it's the home race for the Sports and New team. They competed here, I think it was last season, in a round of the Blancpain Sprint Series. It might have been the year before in FIA GT. Away they go, and as you can see, sunny day here, 25.7 degrees, and it's only 9:30 in the morning, so I think we could be in for a bit of a scorcher, and the track conditions may be a little different this afternoon when these guys have their second race of the day. So it's the third round of the GT Sports Club, the qualifying race getting started in just a few moments' time. Two classes, and there's the overall class and the Iron Cup, which is for drivers over the age of 60. And pole position in the Iron Cup is Martin Lanting, the Monegasque racer we were talking about a couple of moments ago in the red and white AF Corsa Ferrari. So he is the man who's leading the Iron Cup in terms of being on pole position for the Iron Cup, and he's also leading it in terms of the championship. He is well clear of Louis-Philippe Sonnen, who's second in that championship. Michael Luzic actually won the Iron Cup class in Barcelona, but couldn't get it hooked up in qualifying and has to start at the back of the grid. So a bit of a surprise for Michael Luzic, I think, to be that far back in on the grid as the cars make their way around the turn 5 hairpin. A lot of Ferraris out there. We've got one WRT Audi, which you just saw there, being driven by Jean-Michel Bert, the Belgian racer. But a mix of Ferraris, and we've got Mercedes out there too. But and a Lamborghini as well in there by the NSC team. But it really is a field dominated by Ferraris, as the kind of gentleman classes tend to be in the Blancpain Endurance Series, for example. You tend to see a lot of Ferraris out there, very good customer cars, and a strong presence from AF Corsa, because that's AF Corsa's main business model, you might say, is running customer cars. That's why we never see AF Corsa competing in the Blancpain Sprint Series, for example, because their basic business model is Pro-Am, whereas this series is just AM. So these drivers will be taking the full 25 minutes. Natalia Frodina there, just in front of the 54 car of Michael Luzic. So the drivers in the Iron Cup are Martin Lanting, who's 4th on the grid. We've got Steve Earle, who's 5th on the grid. He's in the Iron Cup as well, as is Louis-Philippe Sonnen, who's starting in 8th place on the grid, and Michael Luzic, who will be starting at the back of the grid in the 54 AF Corsa Ferrari. So the cars will loop around, a rolling start. 8 points up for grabs, as well as pole position for the main race coming up later on this afternoon. So the safety car will pull into the pits. They will start to line up in their 2x2 formation. As they make their way around this final corner on this very challenging Portimao circuit. Mario Cordoni set his pole position time on his only the 4th lap of the qualifying session, so that was very impressive from Cordoni to be quick straight out of the blocks. The cars lining up in 2x2, then we're about to have the start of the third round of the GT Sports Club. It's the qualifying race here at the Algarve. On the left-hand side, as we look at it, is Cordoni in the blue and white AF Corsa Ferrari. Alongside him on the front row is championship leader Cedric Mezard in that all-red Villorba Corsa Ferrari. They're waiting for the lights to go out. There they go. Who's going to get the best start? Great start from Lanting on the outside in the red and white AF Corsa Ferrari. He's up into 2nd place already. Mezard, the championship leader, has been swamped and he's back down into 4th position, but it is Cordoni who holds the lead coming into turn 1. So good start from Cordoni, and he's got a couple of car lengths advantage over Lanting, who's up into 2nd place. Up into 3rd then, or still in 3rd I should say, is Massimiliano Bianchi. As they make their way around now, the two Mercedes SLSs have been dropped to the back because Michael Luzic has got a very good start in his AF Corsa Ferrari. But it's Cordoni who leads then, down into the hairpin of turn 5. Battle on for 2nd between Lanting and Bianchi. Then we've got Vangler Becker, who's made a very good start. He started 7th on the grid, but he now finds himself up in 4th position. Through the double right-hander sequence now at turns 7 and 8. Good start as well from Jean-Michel Burt in the WRT Audi. He's made up a couple of places off the start too, but really it was our championship leader, Cedric Mézard, who lost out most at the start there. And the big gainer is the man who's leading the Iron Cup, Martin Lanting. He's in second place at the moment as they drop down the hill. And then they will climb up through the left-handers of turn 12 up into 13. And look at Mario Cordoni, sorry, absolutely sprinting away up at the front. He's going to have a massive lead at the end of this first lap of this 25-minute race. Through the final corner comes Cordoni. Then it's the gap back to second place Lanting. A little wide there from the NSC Lamborghini. But Thierry Verstraete keeps it all together. There it is, a 2.8 second lead then for Cordoni. Lanting in second, Bianchi in third in that black Kessel Ferrari. Fourth is Vanglebecke. As they drop down this hill into turn 1. And someone looking very racy there. Didn't quite catch who it was, but we're also seeing Cedric Mézard looking racy. He's in the number 8, all red Villorba Corsa Ferrari. Started second on the grid, but he's now 5th in the race. So not a good start for him at all, and he can see his championship lead under threat. Through the hairpin at 5. So the big question is going to be, what can Cedric Mézard do now about Vanglebecke in front of him? How close can he get? You can see Lanting's made up positions at the start. Mézard and also Steve Earle dropped from 5th down to 6th, but 2nd to 5th for Cedric Mézard is not the way he wanted his race to run, especially after he's finished in 2nd place for the last 3 races in the GT Sports Club. He was hoping that he could finally get onto the top step here, but it's going to be an impressive drive from him if he can sort that one out as they drop through the final corner. Meanwhile, up at the front of the race, Mario Cordoni is absolutely hurtling clear. There he is in the AF Corsa Ferrari. He's now got a 4.3 second gap as they come across the line at the end of lap 2. Cordoni's had some reasonable finishes so far this season. And there is the move then for 4th place. Cedric Mézard getting the inside line and taking the position away from the AF Corsa Ferrari of Vanglebecke. So that's 4th place now for Mézard, but he's still got a couple more positions to make up if he wants to regain from his poor start. But the good news for him is that they are up in front of him, and Massimiliano Bianchi is the next man in the queue. Now, if the race were to end like this, Bianchi and Mézard would be tied on points at the top of the championship, and in fact Bianchi would go to the top of the championship because he has won a race, whereas Mézard has not. We're at the halfway point of this GT Sports Club season. 4 rounds, we've had 2 completed, so we're kind of starting from scratch with such a close gap between them. But no one at the moment is anywhere near Mario Cordoni, although Mézard has now set the fastest middle sector of anyone. Now he's got some clear air. We're going to see him charging, I think. Through the final corner, and you can see how quickly Mézard has caught up to the back of Massimiliano Bianchi. Bianchi's in the black Kessel Racing Ferrari, Mézard in the red Villorba Corsa Ferrari. This is where he made the move on Vanglebecke last time around. Not close enough this time. This is the battle between the 2 championship leaders. If the race were to end like this, the black 23 car would lead the championship by virtue of having a win, whereas Mézard in the 8 Ferrari hasn't, but they would be joint on points. That's an ambitious move up the inside, going into 4. Mezard clearly felt he got better drive. On the brakes, down into turn 5. Still, Mario Cordoni leads the way for AF Corsa. He's got a 5-second lead now over second place Michael Lanting, who's leading the Iron Cup for drivers over 60. Mezard has dropped back just a little from Bianchi in front of him. In turn has pulled away quite quickly from Vangler Becker, who's in turn under some pressure from Stephen Earle, the American driver in the Kessel Ferrari, who's in 6th place at the moment. As they head out towards the final corner, now is our opportunity to keep an eye on Cedric Mezard in the red Ferrari here. He's going to get a very good run out of the final corner. Some great place swapping here. That's Natalia Frodina. Sorry, no, it's the other Mercedes of De Pundert making a move. De Pundert going past Sonen. Louis-Philippe Sonen, the Belgian racer for AF Corsa. Still no movement here between Bianchi and Mezard. These two racing hard. I wonder if Mezard takes a bit of a different line through turn 4. That seems to be what it is. And now we've got the Mercedes, and actually it was Natalia Frodina who's made a place, and now she's trying to attack Michael Luzic. Not quite able to. A mistake behind from De Pundert in the HDP Mercedes. Now he's on the attack to try and find his way past the 53 car of Louis-Philippe Sonen. So Sonen has dropped back behind both of the Mercs. Then he's got back past in front of the HDP Mercedes, but still the Sports and New Mercedes of Natalia Frodina there, the white and black SLS, is up in front. So Frodina up into 10th place then, trying to close in on Michael Luzic in front of her. Although Luzic, now he's got a bit of clear air, is starting to sprint away just a little bit. But great fights in there. 53 there is Louis-Philippe Sonen, the Belgian driver. We've also got a close battle between the Lamborghini and the Audi. This is over 7th position. In number 95 in that Lamborghini is Thierry Verstraete, the Belgian driver, with another Belgian driver right up behind him, Jean-Michel Bart, for WRT. But back to our 3rd place battle. Running a little wide there, Cedric Mezard needs to be careful. Our race leader is still Mario Cordoni, 6.3 seconds clear, and we've still got more action going on, and that is Natalia Frodina in the Mercedes SLS, and she has caught and passed Michael Luzic very quickly in the space of about half a lap. And now here comes the attack from Jean-Michel Bart up the inside, coming down into turn 1, and the WRT Audi makes his way through. So that's 7th position now for Jean-Michel Bart, disposing of Thierry Verstraete. 6.3 seconds now, the gap up at the front. So Natalia Frodina is now up into 9th place, but she's 16 seconds off this battle between the Audi and the Lambo. So she'll have to show some astonishing pace, I think, to close that in the remaining 15 minutes of this race. But it's Cordoni who finished 2nd. He has had a podium this season, had a 2nd place in the first ever GT Sports Club race in Barcelona. But that was only the qualifying race, so as a result, Cordoni is down in 10th place in the championship. There's Cedric Mezard, but there's our race leader. So we're hearing there was contact between cars 57 and 53 at turn 11. So De Pundert and Sonen coming together. Perhaps that's what allowed the Mercedes to join that fight so quickly. Race leader across the line, Mario Cordoni. But then in second place, it's still going to be the 48. Of course, a Ferrari of Martin Lanting. But he has now been caught by the two battling behind. There's the look to the inside, but he's too far back here, I think, for Cedric Mezard. So the battle that was just for third place has now become a three-way battle over second place. Mezard using all the road there. Will he do his usual trick of cutting to the inside up the hill? He does. So I think that is just the line that Cedric Mezard takes. So second place at the moment in the red AF Corsa Ferrari. The red AF Corsa with the white roof. That is Lanting. Martin Lanting, the Monaco driver. But pushing him hard is Massimiliano Bianchi. You can see how quickly they've caught him over the last couple of laps, and Bianchi trying to nose towards the inside at turns 7 and 8. Because Bianchi in turn is being pushed by championship leader Cedric Mezard, who's right behind him in the all-red Villorba Corsa Ferrari. What a great fight this is as we approach the halfway point of the race. Mario Cordoni's actually just been given a warning flag for track limits, so the race leader is being threatened, I suppose, by race control for not using the track as he should. On the power again, coming out of turn 14, dropping down through 15. And you can see that Bianchi's a little weaker there, and that's why he drops away from second place man Lanting and gets, oh, that's very, very wide from Cedric Mezard. He probably thought, this is my opportunity. I'm right up behind the Ferrari in front, and took it a bit too heavily. We've also got Stephen Earle, who's now caught up to the back of Vangler Becker in their battle over 5th position. So they were nose to tail going down towards turn 1, just 0.2 of a second between them. Bianchi in the black 23 car up the hill. They've both dropped Cedric Mezard just a little as they get on the brakes. Bianchi thinks about a look to the inside. Lanting covers it. And both of them, as I say, have dropped Cedric Mezard just a little in this last lap. It all probably came from that mistake out of the final corner, which would have lost him time, and now Mezard has to try and reel back in these two, and not good news there for De Pundert. Maybe he's picked up a puncture for the HDP team. Willem Pauli's De Pundert. There seems to be a problem there for them, unfortunately. Less than 11 minutes to go now, so we're past the halfway mark, and we've still got this battle raging for second position. A little tempt of a look from Bianchi. Cedric Mezard's just been given a warning for track limits, which I presume was for his indiscretion at the final corner, but I don't believe that was in any way intentional. See if he's a bit more behaved this time around. Yeah, that's more like it, isn't it? Much neater, but second, third, and that's not good news there for Patrick Vangler Becker. He was under big pressure from Stephen Earle, and now Earle will be up into that 5th place because Patrick Vangler Becker has spun, and he wasn't too much slower on that last lap, was Earle, so I don't think there would have been contact there. It's up at turn 13, the hairpin left-hander, so actually that's quite a slow corner, not one you'd expect to spin at, so we'll wait and see what happened there. And Vangler Becker's got going again, but he will be now, I think he might still be in front of Natalia Frodina and the gang. Where is he coming through? No, he's not actually, is he? He's well back behind them all now, so he'll be running towards the back of the pack, will Vangler Becker. There he is, behind Natalia Frodina and behind the 54 Ferrari of Michael Luzic. There he is now. So that is 10th place for Patrick Vangler Becker. He'll be frustrated with that after running strongly in 5th for most of the race. He was up as high as 4th at the start, after a great start from 7th on the grid. Less than 9 minutes to go here in Algarve, and running a little wide there is Cedric Mezard. He is pushing hard. He wants to be starting in front of Massimiliano Bianchi for the main race later on this afternoon, and he is absolutely right up behind the Ferrari now. Out of the final corner, Bianchi in the black car, second in the championship, 2 points behind the second red car in this queue, which is that of Cedric Mezard. Down towards turn 1. Mezard may be thinking about a look, but he's not quite close enough. Bianchi a little bit out of shape as he got on the brakes. Car seeming a little unstable underneath him. Keeps it together for now. Here comes the look from Mezard, late on the brakes. Bianchi comes across. Oh, such close racing between these three. There was contact, it's just been confirmed, with Stephen Earle and the 42 car of Vangler Becker, so they were battling over position, and then Vangler Becker was spun. Don't know exactly how or what happened, but confirmation from race control that there was contact between them. Very squirrely out of the hairpin there for Bianchi. And as a result, he's being put under even more pressure from Cedric Mezard. He's doing well to withhold that pressure at the moment, though. Over the crest of the hill, dropping down and swinging up through the left. A very wide line being taken there by Cedric Mezard. Is that an attempt to line up an overtake for turn 13? He's gone for the switchback. Looks to the inside line up to 13. Not quite now, he noses, but just can't quite get the job done. 7 minutes to go. A reminder, in case you've forgotten, that Mario Cordoni is in the lead of this race, and he is still out there. He's 7.3 seconds clear of this gang, who are all battling over second, third and fourth. So wonderful drive from Cordoni. There he is for AF Corsa. But here's the battle for second, about to plummet into view. And they're all still running line astern at the moment. A little bit of a tighter line on the way in from Michael Lanting. He's doing well to hold these guys off, because he was a second slower than Cedric Mezard in qualifying, was Michael Lanting, the man who's at the front of this queue in the 48. Of course, a Ferrari. That's a bold move from Bianchi. Lanting just about closed the door, but again a good drive out of the corner from Cedric Mezard. That was all getting very close, wasn't it? This is a fantastic race for second, third and fourth positions. Oh, and that is Natalia Fredina off the circuit. Oh, and she's got herself beached now. So that could potentially bring out a safety car. That's up at turn 13. She's in the Sports New Mercedes. She was all by herself, I think, so I don't think that would have been an assisted spin. So 5 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Mezard very close to the back of Bianchi. They see them go past Fredina's car. And I think that is well and truly beached in there, isn't it? And it's not exactly on the racing line. Well, I mean, obviously it's not on the racing line because it's in the gravel, but you know what I mean. It's not in a place you'd usually end up off the road, so we may get away with that for the remainder of the race. Down into turn 1 comes this second place battle. Still, we've got Mario Cordoni leading the way. As they now climb up the hill. Second place, and the car leading this queue. We've also got sort of double wave yellows there going down into the hairpin, but maybe not. And there you can see the car has been towed back onto the track. So we can still have the race continuing here with 4 minutes to go. And car 8, which is our championship leader, Cedric Mezard, has been given his final warning concerning track limits. So he's had one warning, he's had a second warning, and now he's on his third and final warning for respecting track limits. So keep an eye out on Cedric Mezard as he desperately tries to find his way through up into third place. And in front of his championship rival, the black 23 Kessel Ferrari of Massimiliano Bianchi. Goodness me, they tow away Fredina's car there. And obviously can't get it going again through the final corner. And it looks as though, and the safety car has just been deployed after they, and the safety car's just missed the leader as well. And we've still got the fighting going on as the safety car comes out. Thankfully, Mezard's seen it. Oh, whoa. I don't know if Lanting quite got the message. But the safety car was deployed just as they cleared Fredina's car. And now the safety car is letting them go through, because now he's got to wait a whole lap. So here's a look at the replay, and this is Fredina going in way too hot, losing the rear. So I think she went in too fast and then put on the power a little too soon as well. So safety car deployed. But these guys have now got to, I mean, I think effectively we're looking at the end of the race here, aren't we? Because we haven't got much time left at all. I wouldn't be surprised if they threw the checkered flag out, because we're not going to get any more racing laps underway. And it was the car had just been cleared. This might be good news. Well, positives and negatives, I suppose, for Cedric Mezard, because he was very much in danger of getting a time penalty for track limits. And you wonder if he'd done it a couple more times in the last couple of laps, it may have worked out for him. But he also doesn't have the opportunity to try and pass Massimiliano Bianchi in front of him. So there's the race leader. I mean, we're on to the final lap now. And we've got Mario Cordoni, who is the man who is set to win it. He's behind the safety car. Well, he's not yet, but he will be. And Michael Lanting has actually legged it to try and catch up with the safety car. There is the safety car, waving everyone through. And soon he will be caught by Cordoni in that blue and white AF Corsa Ferrari. As he loops around now and begins to climb the hill. This is the final lap of the race. It will finish under the safety car, and it will be a first victory for Mario Cordoni. It'll also be victory for Michael Lanting in the Iron Cup, which would be great news for his Iron Cup aspirations. He is the man leading the Iron Cup at the moment. Sonnen is going to not finish on the podium in the Iron Cup, so it won't be wrapped up just yet. But he may have the opportunity to wrap it up this afternoon, Michael Lanting. So we'll keep an eye out for that one. But here now is our race leader, the 52 car of Mario Cordoni, as he comes through the penultimate corner behind the safety car. The race will finish under the safety car. It's just been announced, but yep. So through the final turn and down the hill comes Mario Cordoni. Took the lead of the race, well, held the lead of the race, I should say, from pole position. And a superb drive from Mario Cordoni sees him win the qualifying race for round 3 of the GT Sports Club. Second place across the line there is Michael Lanting, who's legged it around. And he's finished in second place. And I think that'll be Lanting's, yeah, that's his best performance of the season so far. He had a third place last time out at Paul Ricard, now a second place in the qualifying race here. But there across the line, in third position goes Massimiliano Bianchi, which moves him to the top of the championship. Because for that third position, he gets... no, because it was third, wasn't it? So it'll be 4 points for Bianchi. So actually, the Mezard will still lead by just 1 point in the championship, heading towards the main race this afternoon. So the positive news for Bianchi is he's halved the gap. Fifth across the line is Stephen Earle, and he finishes second in the Iron Cup. Sixth across the line was the 12 WRT Audi of Jean-Michel Bart. There you can see Van Glebecker finishing in 8th position. And still these two Ferraris to come around. Michael Luzic is going to hold on to a Iron Cup podium. As they drop down through the final corner, the 54 car there of Michael Luzic started last, but has climbed up to finish third in class. A very good drive from the American as the checkered flag falls for him. And behind him is Louis-Philippe Sonnen. And that completes all of our runners. Natalia Fredina not making it to the end after that spin in the closing laps. But there is our race winner, Mario Cordoni for AF Corsa, winner of the qualifying race here in the Algarve. And I think he'll be very happy when he returns to the pit lane. Here's a look at the results after 14 laps of racing. Mario Cordoni taking victory in the qualifying race at the Algarve. 5.4 seconds in the end of Michael Lanting, but it finished under safety car, so the timings don't really make much difference. Third place for Massimiliano Bianchi means that he's just 1 point behind Cedric Mezard now in the battle for the championship. Stephen Earle finishes second in the Iron Cup. Then in 6th place we have Jean-Michel Bart for the WRT Audi team. 7th place in the end went the way of Verstrata in the NSC Lamborghini, and I think he'll be a bit frustrated with that, having started in 6th place on the grid. Van Glebecker had a spin out there, possibly after contact with Steve Earle, and as a result he finished in 9th place. Michael Luzic in 9th place. Then we've got Louis-Philippe Sonnen completing the top 10. Natalia Fredina retired with 5 laps to go, and we also lost Willem Portis de Pundert out there after his Mercedes SLS appeared to have problems. Back in the pits, Mario Cordoni. Victory for him, and he is over the moon. Gives a hug to his Kessel Racing team, and it was a commanding win as well. Sprinted away at the start and never looked back, really. Michael Lanting there behind. Celebrating as well. And then we've got Massimiliano Bianchi there. As they have a little chat in Italian, by the sounds of it, after that race. And Bianchi then just 1 point now behind Cedric Mezard at the top of the championship. Mezard we won't see on the podium. And high fives all around for race winner Mario Cordoni. There's Michael Lanting, winner in the Iron Cup for drivers over 60. And he seems very happy with that, doesn't he?
Grande!
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
So as I say, that's his best result in the GT Sports Club so far.
No, good race. You had a good pace.
Yes, but I was afraid for the safety car because if there was a safety car, he zoom. I said, hopefully it will finish the race. The restart. The restart. The restart. I was a little bit concerned with you.
Right.
So there are top three.
Right.
Meza was sleeping. Huh? Meza was sleeping.
Yeah, he was sleeping.
What happened to him?
Behind me.
And you kept him behind you?
Yeah. Sei in partenza, quarto.
Infatti l'ho visto, cioè, dietro,
So very interesting to hear from them. We haven't got anyone interviewing them, but they're interviewing themselves, so it's fantastic. So yeah, Mezard was sleeping at the start, wasn't he? Someone needs to send them in the direction of the podium, I think. Let's go inside and up the stairs, chaps. But let's have a look at the highlights of that race. Cedric Mezard, the man who was second on the grid, got a very, very poor start, and that really compromised him for the rest of the day. He was the man who will be starting on the right-hand side as we look at it at the next shot there. So watch for Mezard as the lights go out. Everyone spreading out just to get a bit of a better view of the lights. And then wait for it. Bam, there they go. And Mezard, you could see, actually was visibly a couple of tenths slower in getting on the power, and as a result he just got swamped. No such problems for Cordoni though. Around the outside at turn 1 went Michael Lanting. That was a very good move from him. Everyone else made it safely through. Coming down into turn 5 for the first time. It was all pretty neat and tidy. Natalia Fredina lost out at the start to De Pundert, but would later get back in front. As this a mass of Ferraris made its way around the circuit. Cedric Mezard there, the man leading the championship in car number 8, was desperately trying to attack Bianchi in front of him. Before too long, those two would close into Michael Lanting, making it a three-way fight over second position. And there was one particular move, wasn't there, from Bianchi in the black 23 Kessel Ferrari as he tried to make a move. Then we had a spin for Natalia Fredina. And despite the car being recovered, that brought out the safety car, which meant that Mario Cordoni was the man who took victory in the first race of the day here in Algarve. A superb drive from the AF Corsa driver, his first victory in GT Sports Club. And now he's up there waiting to go onto the podium. So, Massimiliano Bianchi out there, and he will stand in third place on the podium. Second place for Michael Lanting. But the winner, Mario Cordoni, out onto the top step in the GT Sports Club. And he is over the moon with that, the Italian driver for Ferrari. An abridged Italian national anthem for Mario Cordoni on the top step. And here come the trophies. First of all, the third place trophy to Massimiliano Bianchi. The second place trophy for Michael Lanting, who also wins the Iron Cup. And I think he'll be back out on the podium in a couple of moments for the Iron Cup podium. But the race win for Mario Cordoni for the AF Corsa team. AF Corsa first and second, Kessel Ferrari third. And here now comes the champagne. Are they going to spray it? Yes, of course they are. Delight on the top step for Mario Cordoni, as they get ordered around to get some pictures taken of them. Our top three in the GT Sports Club. The next race is coming up this afternoon as they depart the podium. This afternoon's race getting underway at 20 past 12. We'll be on air at 10 past 12, so only 2 hours' time. Exactly 2 hours from now, we'll be going on air for the main race in the GT Sports Club, the penultimate round of the season. Very close to getting underway. As far as the Iron Cup was concerned, Martin Lanting won it. Second place went the way of Steve Earle, who you can see there cheering on the left-hand side. Over on the right-hand side was the man who finished third in the Iron Cup, which is Michael Luzic. So 2 Americans, but on the top step, once again, it's Michael Lanting, the Monegasque driver. As the flags go up, the sound of the podium gets a little bit blanked out by the scream of Formula 3 cars. The Iron Cup for drivers over 60 years of age. And it's Michael Lanting who has won that class. The caps go back on. Very happy there, Steve Earle. Third place trophy going the way of Michael Luzic. He's it's AF Corsa 1, 2, 3 actually, isn't it? Oh no, we've got Kessel there for Stephen Earle. And he's delighted, and it's another trophy for Michael Lanting. This time it's the biggest one, as he does the Schumacher leap on the top step. And the champagne is brought out to them. For Stephen Earle, it's his first appearance in the GT Sports Club, and he ends it with a podium. So fantastic to have Stephen Earle here with that second place finish. And I think he's saving his for later, isn't he? So fantastic performance from them. Oh, it's single seaters actually, not Formula 3s that are heading out onto the track. So thank you very much for joining us for the GT Sports Club. We will have in 2 hours' time the main race here at the Algarve. We'll see you then.